What it do, ladies? This your girl, Miss Danny Baby, back yet again, one more again, with yet another video. In this video, ladies, I want to discuss as quick as possible, but to hit some points, I want to take a quick analysis of the movie, The Mack. And the reason why I want to discuss this movie is because I notice how a lot of imagery that we see on television and that we hear on the radio is affecting the minds of our children, most notably our young girls, our baby girls, our teenage girls, women that are up and coming. And it's even had an effect on even like older women, because this generation, The Mack, this movie was made in '73. So it was during that black exploitation era after the civil rights movement. And I just want to discuss how this imagery that has been perpetuated and recycled and recycled and recycled in all forms of entertainment that is concentrated towards black people, and how it has affected the minds of our girls and our little boys, to be honest. And it's affected both genders in a very negative way. But the reason why I want to discuss it is because people act like baby black girls are just born in a vacuum and they're ratchet or like a certain type of man that it can identify more with the streets and street culture more so than a wholesome man, just because that's just how she's born. And all of us know that that's a lot of fucking bullshit. They tried to hide certain things, but if you do your due diligence and if you research enough and look in history, just look at the art. Art always resonates with what is going on in society in any particular era. If you're going to go back to the Mozart period, Beethoven, all these different artists that, were hundreds of years ago, whether it's music, and then we have movies, anything you think of is going to resonate, or it's going to reflect or have some energy from what's going on in society. Art does reflect real life and vice versa. But Dolores Tucker tried to tell us back like in the 90s how harmful a lot of rap music would be to young kids. She was a politician, and she tried to come hard for the misogyny that was in rap music. But believe it or not, 20-30 years before she even took that stand, a good 20 years before that, the misogyny was real heavy. It was hard body in movies. This particular movie, The Mack, this guy, Julien, when I first saw the movie some years ago, I was like, God, I've never seen this movie before. It's an old school movie, but let me check it out. Because, a lot of those movies were interesting and some of them were funny, like Dolomite and Shaft, and a lot of movies that like my mom really liked, and a lot of other women in her age group. And so their kids, which would be in my age group, Generation X, we checked it out, but we more so got the our taste of it through the music, hip-hop, and the culture and the videos. The video and the rap artists, the hip-hop artists are the current day pimps. But again, back to Max Julien, the main character in The Mack, he was real suave, real flat at the mouth, actually very handsome. And when I look at old pictures of him, a lot of his old pictures from this particular movie, he looked kind of good. But when I just take a glimpse, like a collage of all the pimp motifs and pimp archetypes that were back in the days, a lot of them were very feminine, you know, and we can discuss that. It's almost as if the pimp, he wasn't only an abuser and a user of women, but it was almost like he was trying to take the place of a woman, wanting to be coddled and cared for, not having really to work for his money, and extracting the spiritual energy and the sexual energy out of his quote-unquote hoes. So we're going to see some of these clips are kind of funny, but a lot of them are very damaging and disturbing. Like, oh my God, this is what they were showing kids in like the 70s. No wonder these motherfuckers these days are so disrespectful. I mean, the disrespect is out. It's beyond. But here in this clip, this little picture you guys see right here, this is Max Julien. And this is a girl that wanted to join forces with him, to join his stable, so to speak. And actually Snoop Dogg has a song where he is almost like reenacting this little part. I might see if I can find that song before I end this video. We'll see. But the first clip we're going to start with is this one here, where this one pimp, Pretty Tony, is talking to another so-called player, and he's talking about how you're supposed to keep a bitch broke. And take a listen and I'll give my commentary.
How old are you, Will?
How old do you think?
Oh, about 40.
Hasn't to be 18.
You know, man, all bitches are the same, just like my hoes, you know. I keep them broke. Wake up one morning with some money that's subject to go crazy, you know. I keep them looking good, pretty, and all that, you know, but no dough. When I get a bitch, I got a bitch. Right on.
You notice that? He said you keep them broke, but no dough, because when he got a bitch, he got a bitch. Sound familiar to any of y'all in the black community? A lot of black dudes, this is not every dude, but a lot of black dudes feel like you don't give black women money. Any other demographic of woman is more worthy of financial reward than a black woman. Black woman's supposed to be broke. Check him out.
Remember that Mack the bear? Yeah. Tried to steal one of my bitches. Yeah, I called him up on the telephone. I said, hey, man, come on over to the pad and let's rap a taste on it, you know? So when he comes over, I told her to give him a little taste, because you sure as shit wasn't getting none from me. See, that nigga wanted the honey. All we want is the money.
Man, I was out on the streets driving, you know, checking on my game, and yeah, I ran into a little nice thing. You wouldn't believe it, man. Oh, she's a beauty.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, you know how these little young Macks are around, man. They don't have the shit in order, you know, and
look at these dudes getting their hair done. They think they're women.
So I went stashed that away, you know.
Well, tell me, what you gonna
do? It's an ancient jealousy of black women. Look at these dudes.
You know, it's all about the money game with me. I do mine from Frisco to Maine. You know how that is.
Right, you gonna put it right on the track.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Now, that's Max Julien right here. The one on the right.
Yeah, man.
He's listening. He's listening. He's listening, trying to absorb the game. And that's a big component of the movie. He's listening to other Macks and players, how they're doing it. And he wants to be a successful Mack too, you know. So he's seeing how these dudes seemingly are successful, and they're being successful by being very demeaning and disparaging towards the women that are their so-called bitches. It's unbelievable that this word was so commonplace in the entertainment industry and in movies that were marketed to black people. So next we're going to take a look at a clip where Pretty Tony And I believe this is a clip where one of Pretty Tony's girls is checking for Max Julien at a pool hall. Max Julien is the Mack, the prime character in the movie. Look at these dudes. That's Pretty Tony. Look at Richard Pryor.
That ain't shit. That's chump shit. Give me that. Just heard that man got knocked off.
What?
Yeah.
When, man?
A little while ago.
It was not.
No, it's serious business.
But then, man,
Yeah.
I heard something about that. You know that? Somebody shot him up with battery acid. Nasty. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Hey, man. I heard they took some of that weight off his ass.
Oh, yeah.
For laying out with syndicate bucks. Anyway, my baby's be in a couple of minutes. Lay more money. Oh, man, you niggas have
This lady coming with more money we haven't seen. Yeah.
Who?
This nigga over here.
Who's on China?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, man.
Right.
I know she can do it.
That's right.
This bitch walked in with so much money I had to give him a bridge truck to help me.
Damn, I should teach you how to throw a seven.
God damn.
Okay, my man Pimp's coming in and I'm dropping
You.
You got to worry about it.
I've been a fish 2 years. 2 years and I ain't touched it. I got $200,000 from her.
You see the bravado, and all men have bravado. That's not unique to black men, but black men are unique in the sense that they're so very arrogant, even when they're doing the most harm and the most wrong. It's a spiritual energy that's really hard to describe. But continuing on. And I hope y'all caught that about how he's talking about he ain't touched his woman in 2 years and she's still bringing him, what was it, $200,000? Can you imagine having to sell so much sex only to give it to somebody else, and for him to brag about how he hasn't even touched you for it? He ain't got to show you no love for real. You just gonna do it because he just that dude. The arrogance is nauseating.
Hey man, this turned off. Hey, baby. Hey, how you doing? Remember me? I'd have to lose all the brain cells in my head before I forget something as fine as you.
Does everyone need an audition to get with you?
You ain't gotta go through all that shit.
Then I choose you.
Be cool, baby.
Hey, bitch, come here. Got your motherfucking man, come here.
Mr. Pretty Tony, I mean, you know the rules of the game. I mean, your bitch just chose me. Now, we can settle this like you got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit.
That shit is mad funny, y'all, because Snoop said the same exact words in one of his songs. Yo, bitch chose me. We can get into some gangster shit. That was very popular in when did he do that? Was it the 90s or early 2000s? But it was in one of his old rap songs. But see, he got this from a movie back in the early 70s. You see how this is influenced rap culture of today? Let me see if I can find that song real quick, just to interject for just a moment. Okay, ladies, I did find the clip of that little intro prelude that Snoop Dogg, where he's imitating the scene in the Mack where the girl cozies up to the Mack and her regular pimp Pretty Tony got mad. So listen to Snoop Dogg. It's not funny, but it's funny. Listen.
Oh shit, is that Snoop over there? Oh shit. Fuck that nigga, bitch. My name is Sam Sneak. You better recognize.
Hey, yo, I'm sorry. I just love that nigga. He's so fine.
Fuck that nigga.
Hey, look, I gotta go pee. I'll be right back, alright?
Yeah, alright. Yeah, you know, I'm just sliding. You know, you can see each other like
Yo, Snoop, what's up, Snoop? Hey, how you doing?
What's that?
Yo, Snoop, you know, I just love your shit. You are just so
Hey, yo,
fine.
bitch, bring your black ass back over. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's that? Is that your nigga or something?
Look, check this shit out. That nigga, he don't want me, okay?
Yeah,
I'm
what's
talking
up,
to him. It's all right.
nigga? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah, nigga, what's happening, fool? You know the name of the game. Your bitch chose me. Nigga, we can handle this like some gentlemen or we can get into some gangster shit.
What's up, nigga?
Have it your motherfucking way.
What's up?
That's what's up, nigga.
You see that there? It's almost word for word from the scene in the Mack. Snoop was very heavily influenced. And I've been to one of his concerts, so I'm not trying to be like a self-righteous hypocrite here. I mean, I admitted before that I do like hip-hop and I do like rap music and I do like R&B. I like a lot of music that is considered from the black culture, but I hate the way that it has devolved. And when I was younger, I didn't recognize the very dangerous messages that were being passed on to me. I just accepted it because of the beat, because I'm actually a very musically oriented person, so I don't have to necessarily meditate on the words so much, as long as the beat and the music is filling my spirit. But when you get a little older, you can't ignore the words any longer, and you see how dangerous and wicked that they are. So, you know, pound for pound, Snoop Dogg was copying off of this energy and off of this this example that was set for him. I mean, Snoop, if you look at a lot of his older videos, you'll see him with like the long hair, and like a blowout. He carried himself like some swagged out pimp / gangster, you know, and this was very popular in the 90s and the early 2000s, harkening back all the way to the 70s. And then they blamed the black woman for liking a certain type of guy that has been pumped out to her for decades. It's like you cannot blame what you've put forth. You can't blame a person for what you've put forth. Now, it's up to women like me and other sisters to gather the young minds, to try to teach the girls a different way. But I see how we've been head faked. And you notice how they were calling the, you know, the bitch this, the bitch that, yo, bitch, bring your ass over here. Totally disrespectful. But just like the women in the 70s, the women in the 90s and the 2000s, all the way up to 2018, think that crazy shit is cool. So moving right along.
Hey, tree nigga. You ain't no pimp. You're a rest haven for hoes.
Rest
You're
haven.
A car thief.
Ooh.
The one you got out there is probably hot as a firecracker right now.
Jealousy.
It was $35,000.
$35,000 cash money.
No, I give $35,000 plus one, right?
The one I gave.
No, you gave me six, though, right? That was
That's
one.
true.
I had one with six, and a $35,000 plus one plus 67. $35,000 and seven, right? Motherfucker, can you buy that?
Nigga, next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up, yeah?
Never born. some noise going on outside. But he said, I'm going to make you wish that you were never born. See, it's that competition. All males, no matter what color, they compete for female attention, just like they do in the animal kingdom. But it's very odd how the black human male, he's not just going after competition. God, that noise is bothering me. A truck is backing up. I'll wait a second, guys. Jesus Christ. All while I'm recording. But what's unique about the black human male, he's not just doing normal sexual competition. This dude actually looks and views black women and black girls as property. And he doesn't have to be a pimp to think that. A lot of just normal everyday dudes, if they are dating a girl, if they're having sex with a girl, if they're romantically involved, even married, they feel like the woman belongs to him, you know, in almost like an ownership type of way. It's very unsettling. But we also see the hatred between two black men here, and that hatred is very popular and very common when we talk about black man versus black man. Look at the gang culture. The black gang culture and the black pimp culture is like they run neck and neck, and they're, you know, congruent with each other. And both cultures have been damaging, no matter how people try to glorify it. So that's just something to think about. Moving on. Now, in this scene here, we have an older black man that has been in the pimp culture and the pimp game for a while, and he calls himself schooling Goldie the Mack. He calls himself schooling him. So peep his words very carefully.
Goldie, just waiting for you. You can be a player, perhaps one of the best. You see, you were one of my best guys, the sharpest. I hated losing you.
You didn't really lose me, man. I mean, the cat just hid me away in his prison and threw the key out the window.
Yeah, well, that deal was set up wrong. See, those other niggas didn't have no business being out there. No way. It was a setup.
I used to lie in that stinky-ass 4x5 cell looking at those dark walls. And I don't care how much I let it run through my head, it always ended up the same way. I'd always end up hanging upside down in that stupid car looking at that stupid-ass cop.
We're going to change all that now. We're going to put you on your feet again. You're going to have a bankroll so big, when you walk down the street, it's going to look like your pockets got the bumps.
I ain't never had those kind of bumps.
Remember, a pimp is only as good as his product, see? And his product is women. Now, you got to go out there and you got to get the best ones you can find. And you got to work them broads like nobody's ever worked them before. And never forget, anybody can control a woman's body, see? But the key is to control her mind. You see, pimping's big business. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. And it's going to continue straight ahead. So somebody up there turns out the lights on this small planet. Can you dig it?
Yeah, I can dig it, yeah.
Well.
Y'all see that? So many thoughts are going through my head right now, man. I tell you, these older men have been poison to younger guys since like forever. But you notice how he said that the product is women. Ain't that just what I just said? These black pimps have been using women like mules and horses. And they see no end to it. Like, that's just what you do. That's how you get your pockets up. That's how you make yourself happy. That's how you make yourself a free man. No matter that he's damaging somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's mother. Because believe you me, that girl's getting some kind of damage. I don't care if she does go into it willingly. She's receiving some type of damage because she's being either forced or coerced into a situation where she's giving away her power just so somebody else can make money. I can't stress that enough. And he's making sure, like, can you dig it? Can you dig it? Making sure the young man gets it. Like, your pocket's gonna be so big they got the mumps. Ain't that what the rap artists did with the money phones, all the dumb shit that they do today? Every last single one of them. I say 99% of the rappers. This is the kind of bullshit that they're on. Think about it. Ain't much change. Ain't much change. And these motherfuckers don't want it to change. Just like the older guy said, here ain't nothing gonna change till somebody turns out the lights on this planet. Now, he better be careful for what he wished for, because quiet as kept, I would like the lights to go out on this planet until this paradigm changes. Things need to be turned upside down. All this abuse and this narcissism and this misogyny, this is big business based on the hatred and jealousy of women. It's crazy. But moving on. Now, ladies, in this scene, you're going to see the Mack, Jody. He's going to put his real strong Mack hand, his little romantic side towards this white girl. It's kind of funny. But the reason it looks like he likes her is because she's so wet behind the ears. They like them like that. That's why they go after their young girls to try to pimp them out also. But the white girl is seen as almost childlike, because of course a black woman's innocence is not really valued. But if you can get you a white bitch as in your stable also, this is the pimp thinking. I don't want any woman abused, if you're going to ask me my opinion. But from a pimp's perspective, the more innocent or the more, unblemished that she is, especially being from another race, the more intriguing she is. But he's pulling out all the stops for this girl, trying to get her to fall in love and everything. Take a look at this.
Ever since I was 13, my biggest problem has been just to find the right road.
And listen to the song.
Rainbow that everybody talks about.
In the background, I Choose You.
Like most people get close enough to count the stripes, but they don't have enough guts to reach out and take that pot of gold.
I just want to interrupt real quick. A lot of dudes that I've witnessed, they love that song, I Choose You. I guess it comes from this era, I Choose You. Even though the woman does the choosing the most of the time, but the man likes to feel like he's the one choosing you. And so this song was a very popular old school song. But look at him putting his Mack hand down.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna walk out with the whole pack.
Promising her the world.
You gonna share that with anyone?
There's a possibility I might share it with a little lady I just met who calls herself Diane. It's not gonna be easy though, baby. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard work.
Oh, you're such a narc.
I really have a lot of good feelings. I know when I first saw you, I just wanted to touch you and hold you. And there's an incredible excitement about you. Something very powerful.
Yeah, I had those good feelings about you when I first saw you.
So where do we go from here?
You go all the way to the top if you're not afraid. Everything's gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be everything to you. I'm gonna be your father, I'm gonna be your friend, I'm gonna be your lover. But you gotta believe in me. You gotta believe that everything I tell you to do is for the best. For both of us, okay?
Oh my God, the lies. Lies, all lies. A demon.
Here's a toast to what we're getting into.
The honeymoon period of a narc ensnaring a victim in his web. That's the perfect example of a narc ensnaring someone into their web. And it just made me shake my head just watching this scene. I mean, he was pulling out all the stops. Next scene. Now, in this scene, you see Goldie, aka the Mack. He's having a serious discussion with a drug kingpin, some white dude who wants to ask Goldie to let him in on his part of the pie, and they can, like, you know, rub each other's back as far as like exchange, I guess, territory is what it sounded like. But Goldie wasn't going for it, and so they had some big exchange that was, you know, heated. And then towards the end of the little clip here, you're gonna see the happenings at a at, what do they call that? It's almost like a pageant, but it's for pimps. And that was depicted a lot in comedy, especially like with the show Martin. If you check out a lot of Martin's show, he had a in his old shows, he had a pimp. What do he call himself? Jerome. I'm gonna try to find an old clip of that. And you guys, if I'm lying, I'm flying. You're gonna see how this pimp archetype was just perpetrated in so many different categories of entertainment. So it was very hard as a black person to escape this programming in the back of your mind. But back to this clip where he's talking to the drug dealer.
You think I'm suddenly less all of a sudden because you got big ideas, huh? Is that what you think? I'm more, Goldie. I'm much more. Listen, baby, do you think that I want to hear about somebody muscling you or coming down here on a contract on you?
I don't believe you, man. I don't believe you.
Goldie, I can't protect you forever.
I mean, after all of these years, I realize why they call you Fat Man. I mean, it's not just because of your fat stomach or because your pockets are fat with money. It's because of your fat head. So, I mean, just do me a favor. I mean, I've been having a good time all night. Just leave me alone, will you?
I've had enough out of you. I'm not going to take any more shit from you, Goldie. When I tell you to shit, I want you to squat, grunt, and ask what color. The people with the funny hats and the noisemakers, they've gone home, Goldie. The party's over, baby. It's dawn. It's reality.
You're a pig. You're a greedy, greedy pig. And you're proud of it too, aren't you? You're just really proud. Yeah. You know, you won't be satisfied till every 10-month-old kid has a needle stuck in his arm. I mean, you're worse than cancer. You're like an epidemic. You're a disease, man. That's what you are. You're like a curse. But let me tell you something, Fat Man. Let me tell you something, you vicious-ass piece of jelly. I'm going to drive you off the streets. I'm going to drive you back into the rat holes that you came from. I want you to do me a favor and take old Judas goat over there, and I want you to just get the fuck out of my face, okay?
Now, peep the scene. This is the comedy and the hilarity of all of it. See, this is mental masturbation for the black community, most especially the black man back in the 70s, because it's giving you this idea in the back of your mind. It's programming you, well, he is doing wrong, he is selling women, he's selling women's vaginas, and he's not even working for the money, he's just getting the money from the women. Yeah, that's wrong, but you know, despite his wrong, he has a heart. At least he doesn't want to see young babies with needles in their arms. See, he's not like this wicked white dude that wants to sell drugs to our people. He's a monster. The white man is the devil, while I'm the hero, the black man, and all I'm doing is selling some pussy. You see the bullshit, the head fake that's being played, and it's been played for years. You know, I look at this crap and just shake my head. But moving on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big moment we've all been waiting for. Who is the big Mack of the year? Here they are. Third runner-up, Ted Ward.
He looked like Morris Day.
Second runner-up, Pretty Tony.
Go conceited Pretty Tony.
Congratulations, Ted. First runner-up, Frank Ward.
Pretty Tony looked like Mike Epps for real. Look at all these dudes with this processed hair. And they talk about weave.
Goldie.
Now, I'm going to find a clip of Martin with Jerome. I just got to interject that real quick. Hold on. Okay, here's some of his Jerome from Martin's favorites. He's a fool.
Jerome's in the house. I say Jerome's in the house. Oh. Watch your mouth.
Look at this fool. This is all copying off of the old school pimp culture. Oh my god, let me see if I can find a part where they had the players ball. Hold on. Alright, enough of this. I'll be laughing at this fool all day. But we see how, you know, decades later, it was still programmed into culture that a lot of us watched, you know, when we were coming up, and it's just crazy. But we're going to go back to the scene where they were finishing up the players' ball. Where is that? Right here. Here we go. Fur coat. Safari, Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend, likes to kind of imitate some of this energy as well. That's the girl, the white girl. But by the end of the night, tragedy struck. Peep game, y'all. Even though that was a sad scene, seeing that his little white prostitute OD'd apparently on heroin, the same drug that he was fussing at the white boy about. But interesting, the only real victim shown in this movie was either him trying to keep a player down, I got out of jail, now I gotta get this money, or like it's this white girl. And like I said before, I don't want to see any woman abused, drugged up, selling her body. I don't care what color you are, because pimping is evil and it's meant to harm women. It's meant to harm all women. But it's very interesting how in black entertainment, the black woman is still not, you know, given that empathy. And we're going to see this in this last clip here, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. Oh yeah, but before I get to the very, very last clip, I'm going to show this little short exchange. This was earlier in the movie when his quote-unquote bottom bitch, real pretty black girl, was appealing to Goldie, aka the Mack, to be her pimp. And I hated this part because one part of the movie, he's putting the real romance on for any other woman that ain't black. But the black chicks had to literally beg. Remember the exchange where he was with Pretty Tony in the pool hall and it almost got popped off because, again, a black woman is begging for, you know, to join forces with this black man. But this particular black girl was just really, really desperate. So take a look at this. We'll discuss in a moment.
Thinking about you a couple days ago, man.
Y'all see that? It was a lot of messages. Open up your mind. Open up your mind and let your other eyes see. They telling you. They hide messages, but they also tell you. They tell you the truth. And to see if you're smart enough to figure it out or dumb enough to let it go past you. But this black woman, she represents, you notice that she called herself an outlaw? Isn't that what the black woman is considered even up until 2018? The loudmouth, belligerent outlaw, can't nobody control her. That's why we don't like these black hoes, these weave wearing black hoes, even though they was wearing weave and wigs and perms all the way back. But and the desperation, you know, it was like her innocence was already taken and beaten up out of her. Very pretty, very attractive. There was nothing ugly about this girl as far as like how she looked. Very attractive young lady. Let me go back and see if we can take a look at her just one more time. Real pretty, smooth skin. just tired of being alone and tired of being by herself, tired of not having someone to look out for her. So in this instance, she's asking the pimp to help her, but she got to damn near beg. Other women don't have to do that, but the black woman does. It's very sad and tragic and interesting to see. But yeah, moving right along. Now this scene here, ladies, is the very last scene, and the very last scene that made an imprint on my mind. After Goldie had decided he was, he had his stable together, he had his bottom bitch, and his favors, and he was making good money. But at the end of the day, a narcissist, an abuser, is always going to let you know what they think about you. So check this scene out. We're going to close this video out.
I want to know where these bitches are. I mean, nobody's out there on the corner. Where the hell are they? I got to straighten their heads out, I let a bitch get away with something last night. I shouldn't have let her get away with it.
Put a foot to her ass.
Well, you said put a foot to her ass?
Right on, baby.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Put a foot to her ass. That's just what I'm going to do. Wow. What are you talking about? Hey, watch over there where you're supposed to be.
The white chick, Goldie. He tried to off me, man.
Let me tell you something now. You listen to me, and you listen to me closely. I don't give a shit about what happened to you. Now, I want you to get yourself together and get back out there and get me my money. Now, I don't care how long it takes you. You get out there and get it. Now, get!
Yo, that scene was painful to watch, and that girl, she put her acting chops on. She was devastated when he responded and reacted to her like that. If you guys have a chance to see the entire movie, you see where she helped groom the other girls for him. She made sure that Mr. Mack, aka Goldie, was always taken care of. But when she was seriously assaulted, here in this scene, he told her, bottom line, like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you. And that's an energy that's very, very prevalent in the black community. We've had men that hate the very guts of black women. That's not to say every single 100% of all black dudes forever and ever have always hated black women, but it's a large percentage that young black girls, black women, period, were not aware of. We were not aware of. And then when we saw examples like this, like the grown women who would have seen this movie in the 70s, we weren't really understanding what was being said to us. Because we're thinking, oh, well, she just a hoe. That's, that's just hoe business. That's that, da-da-da-da-da. But no, it's not just the hoe. That's the tragedy of it. It's not just the prostitute. It's not just the woman that's on drugs or the girl that's not taking care of herself or letting people abuse her. This whole community, especially the menfolk, this vampiric energy is in the black community where it feels it can suck all the energy out of black women and not give a fuck about her. They give a fuck about everybody else, making sure everybody else is paid, making sure everybody else is taken care of, making sure everybody else is protected. But that black chick, that one with the brown skin, that's identifiably black, Even if she's lighter skinned or darker, but that one that's identifiably black, she's not getting any love. She's not getting any love. And it was so sad. And then when I took a look at the comments, now mind you, this movie is from 1973, but look at some of the comments of these dudes. Oh my God. This dude here, cold game. You can't handle the blade, then stay your ass inside. Females are the best actors. He's staying on his toes, keeping his pimp hand strong. Yeah, pimp hand strong. You think that shit is so cute. Look at this dude. This is the coldest part of the movie. The glamorous part of the movie looks great. The women, the cars, the clothes, and the money. But this is what pimping is all about. 92 likes. Yeah, I'm sure this is what pimping is all about. Acting as cold and narcissistic and empty as possible. Take all you can from other people and not give back. It's crazy. And this dude, look at his fucking comment. This dude is a monster. Here you go. For all the people saying that it was cold, it wasn't. Keep in mind, he dealing with female criminals that will kill you in your sleep. He dealing with female criminals as if he's not a criminal. This dude got out. He was in jail. He told you about it. Goldie wasn't he wasn't a criminal. See, we overlook the criminality of that black male. It's only the criminality and the faults and the bad side of that black woman that's held under scrutiny. A lot of dudes in these comments, man, totally dug this part. This part just gave them a hard on. Like, seriously. Look at this dude right here. This is how I'm going to treat every woman from now on. You see that there? They're not distinguishing you from the regular girl from the prostitute. I don't even co-sign this for prostitutes to be mistreated, but a regular girl too? Look at all the thumbs up he got. This is how I'm treating every woman from now on. It's crazy. But I'll leave a link to this particular clip. Look at this dude. Sometimes you gotta be cold on a bitch. LOL. Now some folks said it's wrong. Pimping is wrong, way wrong. Look at this one. I wish I could be this cold. They idolize it. The more brutal that you can be, the better, the cooler you are as a dude. Look at this dude. He said, this is my scene, man. You have to be like this, cold and heartless. So, I guess in summation, the entire analysis, and it could get deeper than this, but it's hard to analyze something in just a few minutes on a YouTube video, but it's a look at the insidious nature of pimping and how it's vamped off of black women, not only by their body, but spiritually and mentally and emotionally. And we've identified with this abuse and didn't even know we were abused. So it's up to us to teach the young ones what's out there. Shit has not changed.